I'm right here, you guys. I've been next to you the whole time. Hello again, YouTube. Look at this bear suit. I'm gonna wear it. For today's creation in the Object Editor commentaries here on the Wii U, this is for Scribblenauts Unlimited, and I am DrKendo. We're starting off with the source object of a boy. Just try to use either this boy or the one with the blue shirt that basically don't really have many patterns on their shirts. Take away the arms and the head, and paint the legs yellow, at least the pant part, and just get the bottom foot part of a Wendigo and put that down there on the legs as well, and you'll be on your way to creating today's Object Editor request. This actually does not come from the most popular requesting vote. Basically, the way my series usually works now is that I usually do this series on a Sunday, upload it on a Sunday, and then for the next 3 or 4 days, I have people comment and upvote the requests that they want to see get made, and then I just make the one that's the most popular. But I realized that I do have like 20 or 30 still on my list from the way I used to do requests back in the days. So I actually did want to get to those and be sure that they were getting taken care of, because it would be pretty crappy if I just did this new requesting system and left all of those off. So slowly but surely I will get through them. I just don't know how long it's going to take in between each one. But yes, so today's object, Banjo Kazooie, was the first one that was next up for being on my list to create. So you notice that we actually used glue for the head and then used a little generic arm piece that comes from the generic 29-page library. Everybody should see my past commentaries if you don't know how to get to that library of shapes and stuff, but it's easy to find once you're in there. It's just one of the little many arm shapes that we've used for snouts on like all of my characters in the Sonic universe pretty much. And I also used a piece of the scorpion's tail for the nose on Banjo right there. We're of course putting his backpack on as well, and glue for his stomach. And let's see, I also took a piece of the neck of a crane, you know, the bird crane, and made that the little necklace piece that he has. He has like a little tribal looking or dog tag necklace of some sort. And we did run out of stamp space, so that's gonna be it for the Banjo, which I think I have everything that I wanted, for the most part at least. Now I'm gonna read some fun facts and interesting info, at least I hope it's interesting for you guys. But Banjo made his debut in a game that I love, Diddy Kong Racing, back in 1997 on the Nintendo 64, a console which I still argue was one of the most exciting systems ever released. Anyway, Banjo is a brown bear created by Rareware, but he wasn't always the icon that he is now, or was after the success of Banjo Kazooie. No, he was originally planned to be a small-time character in a Super Nintendo game called Project Dream. After the release of the 64, the game was then moved to be on that console. However, it was thought to be much too generic, and they even planned on making a rabbit become the new main character for the game, and this too was an unsuccessful move, so Rare ended up trying out a game based around Banjo himself, which we all know and love as Banjo Kazooie, which was hugely successful and even won 2 awards in 1999 from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. The awards were Console Action Game of the Year and Outstanding Achievement in Art and Graphics. Notice that, of course, Banjo's name is derived from, you guessed it, a banjo, the musical instrument. But more on that later. We've got our Kazooie creation right here. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this was the best way to create Kazooie. I know that there's tons of other ways that I could have done it and everything. You don't need to tell me about those, particularly on the head, but I did just want to focus on getting a Kazooie out quickly so that we could put it on the back, or maybe ride on Kazooie's back and everything and show the functionality of that and just make them a team, of course. So it's mostly a phoenix that we've just painted red, as I just said, and used dots for the eyes, a beak for the actual beak part, and used talons for the feet down there. So you just kind of extend those off of the Phoenix's feet and do talons. So just a few fun facts about Kazooie. Of course, Kazooie's name, like Banjo's, is based on a musical instrument. That would be the kazoo. This is why I said we'd get back to the whole instruments thing earlier. Apparently, both Banjo and Kazooie can play the instruments that they're named after, but the only main evidence we see of this is when they're playing the opening intro theme in Banjo Kazooie. The kazoo that Kazooie is playing more closely resembles the look of a bugle, however, and the wiki page for Kazooie actually points out something kind of interesting about that. Kazooie is supposed to be a bird called a red-crested breagle, and the wiki page mentions that breagle sounds a little bit similar to bugle. Maybe that's interesting to you, maybe it's not, I don't know. But here we are, we've got our Kazooie and Banjo out on the map right now. So let's see, yes, of course I've made Kazooie run fast, and yes, this is what I wanted to test it. We've just put Banjo onto Kazooie's back, and it did the scripting exactly how I wanted it. I wanted basically a blue spotted egg to come out whenever you ride, so let's try that again. There you go, so you can see it a little bit better. So I have just done ride. Maybe we'll do it one more time. So check it out. That's pretty awesome. Of course, with the egg flinging off behind her, which is exactly how I wanted it. There will be some yolk that comes out of it. And oh crap, I just shot an egg. That's another thing, is the projectile that I've made for Kazooie is just shooting out eggs. And it looks like I've hit one of those birds over there. I'm sorry, birds, those woodpeckers. But yeah, I mean, it looks like everything's going good. Let's see what the scripting for Kazooie. Yeah, okay, it looks pretty good. I mean, this is one of the scripts that doesn't work super well in this game, but basically I also had it that Kazooie can go on the back like a backpack. So that fits really well, of course, for Banjo and Kazooie, you know, because Kazooie's always coming out of Banjo's backpack. So isn't that just appropriate right there? So yes, it does look kind of funny in this game. As I said, you know, it's not always the best representation because the character will always be kind of sideways whenever they're on a backpack. But the way that the Phoenix is, actually, it kind of works better than I thought it was going to, just because I assumed it was going to be like most objects in this game where they're kind of like horizontally backwards. But this actually makes it kind of forward and back, you know, Kazooie leaning in forward, almost on Banjo's same level. So I like it. I hope you guys do too. So yes, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this was not one of the most popular requests from last week. I just need to get through these requests that are on my list. You know, I had a Word document before the whole popular top comment voting system kind of thing, which is working so much better, by the way, than the whole list thing. But I still have to get to the rest of them on the list, so I will do that intermittently as we are uploading this series. Anyway, as far as the most popular request goes for last week and for this week, I'll just kind of tally the votes together and it'll be 2 weeks worth of popular voting and everything. So we'll do the most popular request next time. At least that's what I'm planning on right now. Things could change. But either way, your tallies and your votes will not go miscounted. And yes, it was a happy birthday to me, August 22nd. That was 2 days ago. I had a pretty good birthday, although I'm not feeling good about turning 28. But whatever, I've got you guys and I've got my beautiful wife, Mrs. Kendo. So life is good, ain't it? I'll catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing. You can be the viewer and
down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives as the spectacle begins. I've been down the road